On the south coast of Java, the latest boat tragedy unfolds. The barely living are brought ashore, along with the dead. Loaded with over 200 Sri Lankans and Iranians, the boat went down just a few days after Kevin Rudd's tough new PNG solution was unveiled. In the closest hospital, survivors Masood and Ibrahim are attending to this small girl.
پدر مادر این بچه همراه با این بچه 22 ساعت رو آب موندن تا اومدن نجاتشون دادن. اشخاصی هم بودن در عرض 2 ساعت تلف شدن به خاطری که لایف جاکت نداشتن.
شنا هم بلند نبودن.
خدا بود نجاتشون داد.
At last count, 20 asylum seekers perished. In another ward, Fatima, also from Iran, recalls the horrors of the treacherous south coast.
خیلی بد بود. خیلی بد بود. نداشتیم. به ما لایف جاکت ندادن. خیلی خطرناک بود. وقتی کشتی غرق شد خیلی بد بود. اصلا خاطرش پاک نمیشه از ذهنم.
As the young victim is taken to a better equipped hospital, I'm keen to find out what the two men know of the new policy. I've brought copies of the latest Australian announcements.
این پیغام دولت استرالیا است. برای هر یک که در قاچاق انسانی دست دارد، اگر شما توسط کشتی بدون ویزه اینجا بیایید، شما در استرالیا متوطن شده نمیتوانید.
It sounds clear, but they don't believe it.
دیگه برای ما شما نیست. برای ما نیست اصلا. این پیغام برای شما نیست.
They think the Iranian government is responsible for the ads.
But not for Australia. میگن از استرالیا نیست. ایران خودش علیکی زیاد پرت میکنه. This is Iran to say. Iran to say.
They've survived a terrible ordeal and not seen any news, so perhaps their confusion is understandable.
I don't think from Iran. Maybe.
But there's no confusion with these asylum seekers. They're Hazaras, a persecuted minority in Afghanistan and Pakistan. They live in the mountains outside Jakarta, in an area full of people trying to get to Australia. 9 men sleep in this tiny 2-room home.
برای هر یکی در قاچاق انسانی دست دارد. اگر شما توسط کشتی بدون ویزا اینجا بیایید، شما در استرالیا مواطن شده نمیتوانید.
Kevin Rudd's message has spread like wildfire amongst the Hazaras, but for some, the tough measures are no deterrent. Arif Hussaini, who's tried and failed 6 times to get to Australia by boat, says he'll try again. So you're happy to go to Papua New Guinea?
Yeah, I'm happy because in Papua New Guinea there is a peace. In our country there is not any peace. That's why.
And there's a view that PNG is one step closer to Australia.
ما مجبوریم که از اینجا حرکت کنیم به طرف استرالیا. ما در پاکستان، افغانستان امن نداریم. ما کجا بریم؟ به کدام سرزمین بریم؟
Even though they're prepared to go to PNG, they're concerned about what they've read.
امنیت باشه چرا؟ درس باشه، کار باشه، همین شرایط‌های زندگی مهیا باشه چرا نمیشه چی فرق می‌کنه؟
It's still unclear whether Australia will take more refugees from those waiting in Indonesia, which would reduce the incentive to get on a boat. This uncertainty only adds to their confusion. When they get the smuggler's call, they'll probably come here. The shop owner does a brisk trade in life jackets.
Emang orang-orang pada bilang dari Jakarta aneh, kok di gunung beli begini, katanya beli.
Laku terus?
Ya seminggu ya ada 20 biji, habisnya ada 30, ya tergantung sehari ada 5, ada 6. Kadang-kadang banyaknya ada yang kecil katanya. Untuk anak-anak, kata saya nggak ada, ini ada khusus dewasa. Kadang-kadang ban mobil pun yang dalamnya, yang udah bocor, saya tambal, dia beli juga.
Right next door to the shop, an alleyway leads to another group of Hazaras. Orang Afghanistan di mana? Ini? Oh, okay. Makasih.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's yet another group of young men who are not permitted to work or study. They spend their days watching TV. Kamal doesn't know what to make of Rudd's Pacific solution.
I'm confused about the policy of Australia. Why Australia likes to send the people to Papua New Guinea. The Papua New Guinea is not a qualified country for resettlement immigrations. But
why not?
Everybody say he's a poor country. He's not civilized. And the people of Papua New Guinea are not happy with the immigration people. I think the Australian government would not continue this plan for a long time.
So you think it's just talk at the moment, and in the future the policy will change again?
Yeah, it's maybe, and everybody say it would be changed.
Majid Mosafari has just had his interview with the Australian Embassy in Jakarta, and he's waiting to hear if he'll be accepted. He says if not, he'll take a boat.
منتظر جواب خواهم. اگر جواب من نمیاد که اون خود من مجبور میشم که برم دیگه. این شیشتم نمیشه دیگه. خوان اگر هر جایی که برد پاپونیوگینو برد دیگه، دو جای دیگه شی بود، نارو برد، هر جایی بود ما چیز نداره، همین مشکلی چیز نداره، ما مقصد جان ما سیفه دیگه.
Our conversation is interrupted by news from home. More Hazaras blown up in Pakistan. Oh, really? Another one?
Yeah, today another Hazara killed by terrorist group LAG, Lashkar Jangvi. Yeah.
It's a reminder why they're stuck here, sometimes for years. They want Australia to open a processing centre to speed things up. But Indonesia is yet to agree.
کسی که واقعی پناهنده است جانش در خطر است و کار از این جلدی در پناهنده اون کشورشون حالا فرق نمیکنه استرالیا ببره یا اونجا ببره هر کشوری ببره که این کارا اگه این دفتر اینجا بندازه دیگه کسی نمیره به کشتی کسی به کشتی نمیره.
If asylum seekers are having trouble making sense of it all, so too is Indonesia's political elite.
I think choosing Papua New Guinea as a place of processing is a good option, though.
Tantowi Yahya sits on the influential Parliamentary Foreign Affairs Commission. While he supports Rudd's tough policy, he's missed the key point.
There will be process. When they are clear, then they can sail to Australia. That's why I understand.
That's not what the Australians are saying.
That's what I understand so far.
Okay.
The boats will be sent to Papua New Guinea for processing. So those who are qualified and eligible, then they will be allowed to sail to Australia. That's what I understand.
What is your understanding of Australia's new policy? The Vice President's senior advisor, Dr. Dewi Fortuna Anwar, says she's not surprised he's confused.
So one should not fault our honourable member of Parliament if he's not fully informed about it. Maybe it is the job of the Australian side. Maybe the Australian ambassador here should make it his job to explain to the necessary stakeholders in Indonesia what the real implication of that agreement between Australia and PNG is.
Of course, the other implication may well be that they don't stop coming, but they come in the same numbers, but they stay here for much longer. What will be the ramifications for Indonesia if that's the case?
Well, I think that would put a lot of stress on Indonesia, given the fact that Indonesia is also facing a lot of problems.
Back in the mountains, the Hazaras are off to the market to buy tonight's dinner. The stall they frequent is run by a Persian-speaking Indonesian woman, making a small fortune from all the new arrivals.
Pasti.
Bisa beli HP yang bagus.
Rumah, mobil, pasti itu. Kalau orang Iran nggak ada, orang Somalia tidak ada, orang Afghanistan tidak ada, mungkin Jamila dan customer saya di Australia banyak loh. Ya, dari sini ke Australia banyak.
Sejak mereka datang banyak-banyak,
ya.
Ini ganti produk atau?
Ya, semua.
Kalau Anda suka makanan mereka?
Ya, sakit perut saya.
Suka jualnya aja?
Jual aja, saya suka uangnya saja.
But money is in short supply in this house, where another 6 Hazara men wait for news about their applications for asylum. They were considering taking a boat, but not now. Has this new policy changed your way of thinking? They hope Australia will reward them for doing the right thing and let them in. But once again, I hear frustration.
از اونجا نگران خانه و عیال و فلان و بسان هستیم سرپرست خانواده ما این دیگه والله من نمیفهم اینجا چیکار بکنیم والله.
By coincidence, Dateline was in this same house last year with another group of Hazaras. They were watching this remarkable video of their near-death experience on a sinking boat.
The captain told us already that the boat is leaked and we might not go further, the water is very bad.
The filming was done by Barat Ali Batoor, a photojournalist. After surviving the ill-fated journey, he was granted refugee status and now lives in Melbourne. He's working on a book and documentary about his journey.
And these people deserve our support, not our hostility.
Batoor knows only too well the situation for his fellow Hazaras and the impact of Australia's hardline policy.
Because they have lost their loved ones and they have been carrying dead bodies every day on a daily basis. So like now they are just completely traumatized and they are overloaded, and they are much more traumatized by these new laws. So, and they don't know what they are doing, and they don't know what to do. So there's no more option for them.
Back in Indonesia, their trauma is evident.
من مثلا یه خانواده 6 نفرم هیچ کسی هم ندارم خودم اینجا هستم الان هیچی هم ندارم الان هیچ خبری ندارم خانواده چی بازی دارم احساسات جلوی حرف رو میگم نمیتونم حرف بزنم.
His suffering is hard to watch, but then I meet an even more desperate group who may well form the next wave of boat people.
We don't have the money, we don't have the passport, we don't have the nationality.
They're Rohingya Muslims from Myanmar. Thousands are fleeing after deadly attacks from Buddhist extremists.
We have no other ways to live in hand to mouth now.
Desperate and now broke after paying $3,000 each to an Indonesian smuggler who then disappeared, they can't afford food and are about to be thrown out of this house onto the street.
What will you do?
What can we do? This is the situation.
Everybody?
Now with an election called,
the time has come for the Australian people to decide on our nation's future.
Any of these would-be boat people may find themselves being towed back to Indonesia if the coalition wins. It's a policy viewed with concern in Jakarta.
My first reaction would be that it would make Australia look very bad in the eye of the international community. It's no solution at all. I don't think it's a solution, because from the Indonesian side they will say, we'll just shoo them off again. So
it's a game of ping pong.
Yeah, and until the boats goes in circle, and then they run out of fuel, then they run out of water and food. If we cause people to be killed at sea, both Canberra and Jakarta, I think, would be equally to blame.
Now, even as the government and opposition try to prove who's toughest on boat people, there's no guarantee the boats will stop leaving these fateful shores.